I'm Kate Czaplinski for the HAN Network, and I'm joined right now by a return guest that we've had before, Katie Scott, who is a food policy coordinator for the Humane Society of the U.S. Katie, welcome back.
Thanks for having me, Kate.
Now, summertime is a good time for, maybe some seafood recipes or some things like that, but we're going to talk about a recipe that actually is seafood-less.
Yes.
Crab cakes without the crab.
That's right. And in fact, July, we were talking about how there's 4th of July going on, lots of fun things, but July is actually also Culinary Arts Month.
Oh, really?
It's a great time to promote awareness of all the good things that professional chefs and cooks do, or maybe people at home that you know and love do for you in your kitchen. And this is just another example. In fact, the University of Connecticut, their dining services team won the 2016 Best Vegan Recipe from basically this national food collegiate organization that recognized them for their vegan crab cakes.
Wow.
So I decided, why not take a look and see how that turned out?
Now, and before we get to the recipe, we do want to talk about, you've been on before to talk about Meatless Mondays and kind of that movement, a campaign that the Humane Society supports. Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. So Meatless Monday is just taking a holiday from meat one day a week. It's literally doing something good for your health, for the environment, and for animals. And obviously you can try Meatless Monday throughout the whole entire week, but it tends to be that if you do it on a Monday, you're more likely to make better choices for yourself throughout the rest of the week.
That's great. And this is so cool that this recipe is from UConn.
Yes.
And when people hear the word vegan, I think they get a little scared. Have you found that?
Well, in fact, what I'm finding much more often is that plant-based is becoming so mainstream. And in fact, this recipe in particular is now being served at all 8 of their dining halls.
Oh, that's great.
Simply because of the demand. People said, I love it, let's eat it, and that's what it's all about. It's not whether it's vegan, vegetarian, it's just good food.
Right.
As you mentioned, this is a great summertime thing, so whether or not you're using the crab or you're using something that's the alternative, you're going to just be eating great food anyway.
Okay, I can't wait to find out what our crab alternative is. Let's talk a little bit about the ingredients you need here.
Absolutely. So I decided to find a somewhat simplified recipe of the vegan crab cakes. So really all the 4 things you're looking at are hearts of palm, which can be found in the canned vegetable aisle at any basic grocery store. Then you're going to be using celery, probably just 1/4 of a cup, and the red bell pepper, also 1/4 of a cup, and probably
good.
Yeah, just a little bit more of the onions, maybe 1/2 a cup. Now the staple here that I would love for everyone to try is vegan mayonnaise. It sounds like it might just be for some people who are, lactose intolerant, or if you're making those choices not to eat dairy, but this is served right next to the Hellmann's aisle.
Really?
So you're getting something that is not going to cost you more, that's going to take out all that cholesterol you're getting from eggs, and it's going to just be a portion of adding this in for that stickiness.
Right. Wow. Okay, great. And what else do we have?
Yeah, so obviously you're going to use some oil in here, and you can't forget the Old Bay seasoning.
No, you need that. That's a staple.
It's going to make it flavorful, and it's going to make it taste good. Now, I personally made my own aioli, which again uses the vegan mayonnaise and a dill weed and some fresh lemon juice.
Ooh, that sounds good.
But you can use something that you find at the store as well. It's up to you. And then likewise, the panko breadcrumbs adds that extra crunch at the end.
Nice. And I love that you do find affordable items for people to get at the store.
Absolutely.
It doesn't have to be expensive just because it's vegetarian.
Exactly. And in fact, you bring up a great point, because the hearts of palm on average probably costs $3.30. And if you're talking about real crab meat, gosh, that can cost upwards of $37. So you're really saving a lot of money by just buying this 1 can of hearts of palm.
That's awesome. So tell us what happens when you start cooking the crab cakes.
Yeah, absolutely. And in fact, I want to bring in what hearts of palm actually looks like. So here is the can. I'm going to pour it right onto this plate here.
Yeah, a lot of people probably don't know what hearts of palm taste like, or even what they are.
Well, I would love, if this isn't too forward, why don't you just give this a nice smell and see what you think.
Oh my gosh, that smells really good. It smells very fresh. It reminds me of something that I can't place right now, but it smells delicious. It really does.
It's got something that's already kind of the crab flavor, the crab smell. There's not too much that's going to be different. And in fact, the best part about this is the texture.
Oh my gosh, it looks just like crab. That's incredible.
And most times all you'll do is just either chop that up or you'll spread it. In fact, if you have already sort of the tools to spread apart the crab meat, you can do the same thing with hearts of palm.
Wow. And so the finished product.
You ready for it?
Yes, I'm so excited.
So once you have everything kind of mashed into a patty and you put the panko breadcrumbs on top, this is what it looks like.
Gosh.
You've got your lemon wedges and you've got your aioli just right on top. So Kate, if you want to take a bite.
I would love to try this. This looks so good, and I have to say it smells really good. Okay, here we go. I'll even dip in the aioli.
Perfect.
Wow. That texture and that flavor is absolutely identical to a crab cake, and I love crab cakes.
Good.
That is really, really good. Oh my gosh.
Well, and that's the thing too. So in fact, my partner who does a lot of the cooking with me in the house, he is not a fan of seafood. However, this fits in right perfectly because he thinks, oh, well, I'm not eating the crab, but I'm eating this, and it tastes so good.
The flavors are spot on.
Aren't they?
That really is. That is amazing. Hearts of palm. Who knew?
Who knew? And it really only takes about 10 minutes to cook once you have all your ingredients together. And like I said, this is a simplified version, so
yeah, and it's fun. You can experiment with it,
Exactly.
I bet. Throw some other things in there, some different seasonings.
And that's sort of what Culinary Arts Month is all about, right?
Exactly.
An experiment and thanking people for the food that they use with their creativity.
That's great. And Katie, I do have to say, last time you were on, you introduced me to vegan sour cream,
Right.
and now you've introduced us to vegan mayonnaise,
Yes.
things I didn't even know existed. So it's very cool that there's these alternatives.
You know what? I may just end up leaving this here for you. You can have the whole thing.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, this is really good, and we so appreciate you bringing this. Again, this is the UConn recipe simplified.
That's right.
All right. Well, Katie Scott, thank you so much.
Thanks, Kate.
All right. We will see you next time on the HAN Network. It's been a great time again with Katie Scott of the Humane Society of the U.S.